So let's have a look how we calculate true airspeed using the CRP. So we've got this scenario, we've got 100 knots indicated airspeed, we're flying at 5,000 feet and our temperature is +2. So first thing we need to do is identify the correct window on the back of the CRP, and this is a little bit of a gotcha. So there's two windows, well there's three windows actually, but there's two that are really easy to confuse. So one's altitude, one's airspeed, and they both have the same numbers in them. And if you line everything up in the altitude box, you might think that you've got the right answer, but it'll give you the wrong answer on the scale. So the one we're interested in is airspeed. So we need to make sure we get the right box. And what we're going to do is line up the temperature, which we've said is +2, with the altitude, which is 5,000 feet. So there I've got +2 and 5,000 feet aligned with each other. I'm then going to identify where 100 knots indicated on the scale is. And the way I do it, again, just because it's fairly fail-safe, is I always, the arrow is often the starting point on lots of these calculations. So I typically go to the arrow, and I know the arrow is 60 knots. So I've got 60 knots, 70 knots, 80 knots, 90 knots, 100 knots indicated. And then I'm going to move my little cursor, my line over the top of it, and then if I zoom in, I can see that on the outer scale, my true airspeed is 101, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 107.5, 108 knots. If we use the rough rule of thumb at 2% per 1,000 feet, I'm expecting about 110 knots. So that again is a bit of a gross error check to go. I'm expecting about 110 knots. So actually that's pretty good, and that's going to be the accurate answer based on that exact temperature, because that's what is going to make a change on this if it's away from the ISA temperature. So there we go.